Hello and welcome to our first Satsang on Consciousness TV. It's an absolute joy to be here today sharing this with you. The Satsang is going to be in two parts. The first part I'm going to be sharing with you verbally and describing some things about the awakening process, and in the second part of Satsang we're going to do a practice. And I'll invite you to join me in this practice. So the first part of Satsang today will be a description of the awakening process and the kinds of things that you're likely to experience as part of that process. Now, even though each person has a really unique mind-body field with very specific individual samskaras and memory from many, many lifetimes that influence and impact them, there is still a recognisable flow to the awakening process. And it's that flow to the awakening process that I would like to talk about first today. I'd like you to turn your attention inwards for a moment now. Just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and relax. This teaching needs to be absorbed with the heart and with the body, not just by the mind. There will be information shared here that will appear paradoxical to the mind if the mind tries to relate to it on its own terms. So we're just going to invite the mind to relax now. For the mind to sink into the heart, taking a few deep breaths in and out through your heart center in the middle of your chest. We're going to go on a journey now, a journey into the mystery of who you are. A journey into the truth of who you are. And that begins with a turning of attention inwards. Encouraging the mind to extract its attention from the outside world, from the stimuli of the external environment, and bring attention inwards. That always must be the first step. And the first thing that you find when you turn your attention inwards is everything you contain rises up to meet you, to meet that awareness. And some of what you contain will not appear to be pretty to you. It will not appear to be good or pleasant. And you may well wish that it was not there. And so when the teachers say to you, meet what arises with kindness, there is a very deep meaning to that. A deep acceptance is needed to meet what we contain, the complex matter and experience that we contain. So as we go, we actually learn more compassion, we learn more forgiveness than we had at the beginning of the journey of turning our attention inwards. In the beginning, it can be a bit like hell, because that compassion or that kindness may not be well established inside you. So the first thing that happens is judgment. And then the pain gets worse. And the tendency will be to want to punish or to distract away from the pain, to somehow split yourself so that you don't feel so much suffering. So in this practice, the second stage is to stay whole, to stay present in kindness with whatever arises. And breathe every time you feel that tendency to split or disassociate or move away. So in this, you're very much tending tenderly your own suffering, your own injured places, and the shadow or the pain body that has developed over many lifetimes of suffering. You're sitting still with the dragon and breathing. And it's as though the whole world of everything that feels wrong is being asked to sit still long enough to meet the world where everything is already perfect and already whole. And you'll need to get used to that feeling, the feeling of the interface between those two worlds, because they are going to intersect, and at times it might feel like they're going to collide and there's a great deal of friction. But really, the world where everything feels wrong and bad and out of balance and like it will never heal is a temporary world. It is in fact arising and falling away in every moment in the jitterbug effect, in the quantum field. It appears to be continuous because we are continually placing our attention in that direction. We keep feeding it. And when we stop, we become afraid. We become afraid that that dragon will come and get us. And that happens at a biological level, an emotional level, a spiritual level. We prefer to be a moving target rather than a sitting target. And in meditation, in the process of spiritual inquiry, turning the attention towards that which is real, we are going to meet everything which is unreal, arising in every moment, appearing as a continuity across time because we have intended it that way for so very, very long. And how do we navigate that? What do we use within ourselves to navigate that? The mind can't do it. The body doesn't know how to do it. Between the mind and the body exists the realm of the heart, the realm of the deeper heart that Ramana Maharshi spoke of, the presence that is everywhere. And in the beginning you will experience it as arising from the center of your chest, sometimes from the right side of your chest, and in the end you will experience it all through you, and you will experience it everywhere, in space, matter and time. So this is a journey of awakening, a journey of becoming more and more transparent to the world of the real, more and more transparent to the light eternal that you are, that dwells always in the center of your being and in the center of all existence. In that place, you are not only already healed and whole, you just are. This is the self with a capital S meeting the self with the little s. And the self with the little s is becoming more and more transparent as time goes on and as the practice deepens. It isn't really very complicated once you understand the physics of it. The mind-body field that you have come to identify as you over many, many lifetimes, eons of time in fact, is about to become transparent to the light of your true nature. And as part of that, there are biophysical processes that take place. There are energetic processes that take place. And there are shifts of perception that take place. All of these things will happen inside you. And as they happen, your sense of self will gradually shift from self with the little s to self with the capital S. It's not that there is no self. It's just that the self is so much more than our little minds could ever imagine it to be. And yet even little mind in this is not the enemy. Little mind is the container in which we have lived, in which the one has lived out of choice to experience itself in a new way. Small mind, this body, this human experience is a gift the one gave to itself. Something that it decided upon a long time ago and is still experiencing now in this moment through you. So I'd like you to consider that now. Right where you are, right where you sit in this moment. The one is having the experience of being you. The one is having the experience of being you. And it is having that experience because it chose it. There is no mistake in this. There is no error. There is also no abandonment, because the one can never abandon itself. It is always fully present in every moment, no matter what form it appears in. It may even choose to appear in a form that does not recognize itself. That is how incredible this one is. It can choose to forget that it is awake temporarily. It can choose to live in a tiny body on a blue planet that revolves around a sun on the edge of the Milky Way, if that's what it chooses. And never in any moment of time has there been a mistake. There is only choice and the reason or the underlying intention for that choice. And the entire field of any given experience is imbued with, filled with that intention or that choice. Imbued with the intention that existed at the moment of its inception. The entire human experience is motivated, moved, brought into being and sustained by an underlying intention. And every aspect of human beings' lives, including awakening, is imbued with that intention. And there is no moment of time nor experience you can encounter that is outside of that field of intention. This is the divine inevitability that some of the saints and sages have spoken of. This is the divine perfection that they spoke of. And the deeper you enter into the substrate of existence and the one from which all manifestation arises, the more you realize the only thing that is possible is perfection. And then the question always arises in the human mind, is my suffering perfect too? How can that be perfect? And the first thing the mind does is it splits. And it believes it was abandoned in suffering. Perhaps it's bad. Perhaps it's wrong. Or perhaps God is bad or wrong. Perhaps God is something outside of this experience, outside of this little self with small s. And it invents a story of suffering, a story in which there either isn't a divine intention, there isn't a one from which everything arises, there is only chaos. It invents the story of a one who is bad or wrong or fallen or abandoned, one that cannot get back to the state of grace. And that one is tormented. That one is in anguish, always believing, like the prodigal son, that it cannot come home, or that there is one. It doubts even that there is one to come home to. And then you find all manner of human intellectualization and disassociation and cynicism and sadness and suffering. And all the while that this story is going on, the world of the one, the world of the real, in which everything is always perfect, in every moment, continues to exist. And all we need to do is turn our attention towards it. Where is it? It is already within you.